What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the five-star man, the inevitable one, Devin Stanford.
Yes, of course.
yes, of course, sir.
Yes.
My good,
Welcome
my good great grandson.
to the Good Kraken show.
It's so good. It's so good. Devin, how are you today, baby?
Oh, I woke up feeling a little bit like, wow,
Yeah, for sure.
No, my legs just hurt, just I'm getting out there trying to be more physical and active, and I just jumped straight into skateboarding again, and I've been, skating half pipes and doing rails, and probably shouldn't go straight into that, you know what I mean? Like, after not doing it for a decade, but I haven't hurt myself. My legs are just sore, but it's been good. It's good for me, It builds character.
Yeah.
Builds character.
Builds character.
Builds character.
It does. I mean, being sore, definitely does that too. I mean,
it's. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, System of a Down and Korn are touring again. A new Jackass movie just came out, and I started skateboarding again. It's like, man, next thing you know, I'm gonna be out in the parking lot doing whippets with some random 40-year-old guy that just came out of the local bar. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Oh, wow. That was not where I thought you were going with that, but sure. Is that what you did at 15?
No, but come on. We all knew people who were like that were surrounded by all those things.
I mean, sure. Yeah, we knew a lot of very troubled people.
Yeah, that's true. But, it's what a time to be alive, right?
Yes, very much so. I'm drinking out of my Reflect Design cup this morning.
Oh, I still haven't used the cup, but it sits right here, right next.
It does a very good job of keeping beverages warm. And the reason I bring that up is because Zach the other day, actually, with his wife, did a 10-year anniversary stream for Reflect Design Co., where they talked about the past 10 years of being Reflect Design Co. And it was pretty fun show. I got a chance to kind of watch it for a little bit. I got really, really busy that night, so I couldn't watch the whole show. But it's very interesting hearing him talk a little bit about his history and some of the companies and groups and stuff that he's worked with, and he's done a lot of shit, dude. In 10 years he's made some good stuff for himself. I'm super stoked to say that we've had stuff created by him. I'm thoroughly very happy about it, dude. He does really great work.
He did a wonderful job too, and especially with all the animations and stuff behind the work itself. It's just incredible. If you are viewing us for the first time, our layout and our look and everything is all due to Zach Silver over at Reflect Design Co. Definitely go check him out if you're looking for some work or just want to admire some artwork.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. And he's definitely worth every bit of investment that we made with him. Mm-hmm. He does extravagant stuff. He's a very, very sweet guy, very good guy to work with when it comes to this stuff too. Super creative. We're booked up to work with him again here pretty soon for some of our media stuff here pretty soon. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But today we're not talking about Zach, Devin. Today we're talking PlayStation going live, GTA 6 news, Ultimate movie, betrayals, and much, much more, because this is the Good Kraken podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow, where you can submit questions and topics of the show, get exclusive post-show content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Give it to me. Yeah, baby. Let's go. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you're watching live, you have a very important job. You can head on over to Fact Check in the official Good Kraken Discord channel, where you can keep us humble and correct when we screw up information during the show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. We would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Review. Devin! No. We have some captain's orders, my friend. Actually, there's one good captain's order here. The rest of this month is going to be a little fucking weird, guys. So bear with us here, okay? Bear with us here. We had to flip our Wednesday night gameplay streams, where either me or Devin had we're kind of just taking turns back and forth week by week to stream some more just random gameplay cluttered content and splash damage content. And Splash Damage, our multiplayer gameplay streams, we had to flip those each week for the rest of this month because we have lots of game releases in February. Mm-hmm. So in order for us to cover those and get that content to you guys as soon as possible, we're basically just flipping Splash Damage in those gameplay streams. So we will be covering next Friday. Devin will be playing Crossfire X, and that'll be Devin's solo stream for the month, as we are dubbing 7th Brevin. Oh my God, I'm still so here for that.
7th Brevin, what's
7th
up?
Brevin, baby, let's fucking go. A couple Fridays after that, I will be streaming Horizon Forbidden West, and then that following Friday, we have another 7th Brevin where he will be streaming Elden Ring. So we got all the bases covered on the bigger titles for you guys here. We are talking currently to some other like ordeals, but like for now, those are the big ones that we need to make sure that we keep you guys caught up on. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want fun gameplay of brand new games as they're rolling out, please come in, hang out with us for those. It's gonna be a damn good time. Devin, tell the people what we got next, my guy.
Well, we got some little waves trickling in for y'all.
Let's fucking
all right.
go.
So here's some news stories that we really wanted to mention. They weren't quite big enough for us to dive into fully, but we thought we'd mention these so all of you guys were aware.
Yes, sir.
Yes, of course.
Yes, sir. All right, what do we got, Devin?
So Supermassive seems to have at least 6 more Dark Picture anthology games planned. Whew. We just played the 3rd one not too long ago, that House of Ashes, this last October.
Goddamn.
Oh,
God
this
damn.
is good. It was good. Way better than the first one we played. I'm not gonna lie. Way better. Yeah. The developer has trademarked 6 further titles in the franchise with the European Union. It's European and Union smacked together.
European.
Anyways, the European. God damn it.
European.
Why are you doing this to me? All right. So the franchise with the European Union Intellectual Property Office has spotted by the Marmalade on Twitter. The 6 games trademarked, all under the Dark Pictures Anthology brand, are called Switchback, Directive 8020, The Craven Man, Intercession, Winterfold, and Oh Death.
Dog.
Yeah.
I am so
Directive
fucking here for it, dude.
8020, like, is this just another order from Palpatine? Like, orders.
Directive.
Do it.
Dude, that
No,
all I was gonna say is I'm very excited to play The Devil in Me with you. That's gonna be we had so much fun with the fucking last game, House of Ashes. I cannot wait for the next one. If there's anything they've done right, is work really well with the titles of these titles. And they keep getting progressively better. I did not think they would go 9 games deep. No, 10. I did not think that they would go 10 games deep with this. I thought that they would do a solid, like, 6 games, maybe, you know, like 6 titles, kind of like roll through, give people some like good taste of that, and then just drop that bad boy.
Mhm.
No, dude, they're going in on the Dark Pictures anthology. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of excited about it. Like, where are you with this? Like, do you feel like hype about this?
I'm excited. I want to see them do more than just 2-player co-op. Like, it'd be cool for them to do like 3 or 4. I would like to see that get like more of a party involved, because like it is kind of set up to do that like watch party thing.
Sure.
You know, that
Sure.
they have.
Yeah.
I would like to see them expand on it and make it open it up a little bit more, so more people can get involved at the same time. That's what I would like to see, especially with how many titles we have coming through. You know, I'm really curious what Directive 8020 is.
That's the one that catching your eye the most, huh? I'm
Yeah.
like, because like honestly, I could see them like, because one thing they haven't done is jump into the future.
Exactly, and that's
So,
why
like,
I'm interested. I
Maybe
want to
super
see.
like android horror. Ooh, like robot
Yeah,
horror, like the
yeah.
dogs in Black Mirror, the robot dogs in Black Mirror.
Or the movie Ex Machina.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be or iRobot.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go straight iRobot.
You know what? And Supermassive is notorious for having a lot of actors and actresses actually mocap and play roles in these games too. So let's go with iRobot and give me Will Smith. What's up?
What if it's just what if it's just Bicentennial Man?
Jesus Christ!
The sad story about a robot.
Yikes!
Keep it pushing, Devin. What we got next?
Yo, next up, Battlefield 2042 Season 1 delayed. More details revealed. Season 1 has been pushed back to early summer 2022 so developer DICE can focus on resolving current issues in the game. The decision was made, quote, to bring the game up to the highest standards, end quote, according to the senior producer, Ryan McArthur, who published a blog post on the game's website. Y'all, I used to be a big Battlefield fan. Before this game, there was only one Battlefield I ever skipped, and that was Hardline. Because guess what? Hardline was a mistake. It was terrible.
I know. We've had games like Bad Company come out, and that's what they fucking did to us. I know.
Like, dude, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4,
goddamn,
Battlefield 1.
Ooh.
All fantastic games. Battlefield 5 was still good, but it wasn't up to the standards that those games were.
Right.
And then 2042 was supposed to be the hype beast return to form Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 game, right?
Right.
Talk about one of the shittiest launches I've ever lived through in my life. I'm not even joking. Like DICE. What the fuck?
Now here's
I literally
the deal,
just uninstalled that game the other day to install Dying Light 2.
Yeah, I don't have it installed on any of my stuff anymore either. The thing is too is like I genuinely enjoyed the game when it was actually working. When it was actually working and we weren't having to deal with server side issues, we weren't having to deal with just like massive bugs, like massive amounts of bugs. Dude, we were running into bugs that our guys literally could not be revived. We were running into bugs where our guys would literally freeze, seize up, and then just stop being able to shoot. It bummed me out because I actually genuinely enjoyed the game when it was working. It just wasn't working a majority of the fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's such a bummer for me as someone that doesn't
can't
usually do competitive FPS. Like, and I finally liked one.
And you can't release games like that and not have them work, because then you lose your whole audience. It doesn't matter if the game gets better. Your audience is gone. The only people who will play that game again is like your extremely core, like dedicated core audience.
Yeah.
And even then, most people that I know who are really big Battlefield players and Battlefield heads don't even want to give it the time of day when we have things like Halo Infinite coming out just at perfection for the most part.
At,
near
perfection, right? Like 95%, like at least. It's a bummer. Do you think this season 1 delay might fix some things? You think it'll be worth?
I don't know. So like one thing that I found out, and it actually makes a lot of sense why like the core development has been so like chaotic for them with this game, is a lot of veteran developers left DICE over the last couple of years, and they started a new studio which is turning out to look like they're making an amazing game that's coming out later this year called Arc Raiders, and it kind of has like that third person Battlefront 2 kind of vibe mixed in with like some Destiny and some like War of the Worlds. So it's like their veteran developers have gone to do that, where like a lot of people who are newer have developed this 2042, and I don't know, man. It's I don't really see the conversation like flowing around it. I don't see people stoked about it or hoping for it to get fixed. Like I personally just haven't really seen that conversation. I've seen the conversation of, man, this is really bad for a Battlefield game. That's the conversation I've seen.
Well, there's one thing that the game did do correctly.
Emotional damage.
God damn it.
Go ahead, Devin. What's next?
What's next? PS5 outsold Wii U's lifetime numbers in a year. Not surprising. Announced in the company's most recent earnings releases, Sony revealed that over 17.3 million PS5s were sold as of December 31st, 2021. The Wii U reached just 13.56 million sales in its lifetime. The PS5 had a stellar year financially, outselling the PS4 in its first fiscal year, breaking the Nintendo Switch's 33-month streak at the top of the US hardware sales and being the fastest selling console in US history in both unit and dollar sales. I'm not surprising it outsold the Wii U. I wouldn't be surprised if the Series X or S did the same, because let's be real, that's not that high of a bar when it comes to gaming this age. You know what I mean?
Well, in this age, sure. Yeah, I mean, the Wii U was the highest selling console in history. So it's like...
No, not the Wii U. The Wii was. The Wii U is notoriously one of the worst selling consoles in history. Big difference between the two.
I don't think they would note that if that was the case.
I 100% guarantee you that.
Let's get a fact check. Let's get a fact check. Let's get a fact check in. Anyways, while we're on that subject, though, the tough part is that Microsoft doesn't release their sales numbers, right? Because that's just like not one of their core points. Like that, they don't like that being a talking point around their company, around their platform, things like that. I mean, honestly, let's be real here. Every year, things are outselling the year prior before that, the year prior before that. It's interesting too, because it's like, the reason I put this in here is because like who's buying these PS5s?
Scalpers.
They're counting those scalper sales, they're counting those bot sales. Just put in fact check. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll talk about it after. I want to keep the flow going. It's obviously scalpers, bots, the usual fucking duds. It's just like, even though like I have one, and I'm not meaning that in a flex way, even though I have one, I am very conscious of the idea that there's still a lot of people that have not been able to get it, period. And that's like wild to me that the PS5 is still selling and still like doing the fucking thing, like regardless of the fact that there's so many people that can't get it. I was in a flipper group, because I like to see people that like flip shoes and stuff like that, or like fix things up. And there was some dude who was in there, and he was like, "Hey, anyone need a PS5?" And he posted a picture of a U-Haul, Devin. He had full of PS5s and Xbox Series X's and S's. And I commented on it, and I said, "Fuck you." Because I do not want, I fucking hate these little assholes out here ruining this space for all of us, for people that actually want to buy them so that they have them for our family, and now they're trying to upscale the price by fucking $150 still, when it's like people are buying bundles for the same amount of price now. Like it's just wildly absurd to me. But it's still pretty cool. Like I think I like, good for them. I mean, the Wii U had a pretty long lifetime for a minute there, and good for
not
them.
really. It was discontinued less than 5 years into in production.
That's not my point. It didn't only last 1 year. This is my
I know,
point.
and the lifetime sale, the PS5 outsold the Wii U in its lifetime of only 13.56. That's all it sold.
Yeah, in 1 year.
And,
In 1 year. That's still a talking point, you know what I mean? Anyways, I don't want to dive into it too much. Go ahead, Devin. Continue on.
Netflix's live-action One Piece series begins production. A tweet from Netflix Geeked confirmed that the start of production and showed images of the cast on set. One Piece began in 1997 and has logged over 1,000 chapters of manga and 1,000 episodes of the anime. But the Netflix series is only pegged for 10 episodes so far.
Yeah.
I was never a One Piece fan personally.
Really? Yeah. I mean, like, I've heard a lot of people say that they weren't big on it. But I mean, it's interesting because we just got done talking about this on another episode, right? Is like, is this the move? Is this going to be the move? Do you think this is going to be one of the ones that flop? Because I know, like,
Yes,
One Piece is
absolutely.
sort of a like either people love it or they fucking hated it. And like, I'm wondering like where this is going to take them. What are your
I think
thoughts?
this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Just like how I think the new Uncharted movie is going to be terrible.
God, dude.
I'm just
honestly,
being honest with everybody. I think I don't know anybody who asked for this.
I mean, let's be real. There's some people that asked for it, otherwise they wouldn't have made it. But I don't think this is one of the animes you can turn into a live action and have it be good.
It's way too goofy and weird and out there.
Yeah.
And like not just off of like being based off of powers or anything like that, but just like the size differences between characters are completely unrealistic. And how are you going to pull that off in a live action way without spending thousands and thousands of dollars on CGI to make somebody look ginormous? You know what I mean?
I'm just like imagining what his like stretchy ability is going to look like and how bad that's going to look in this.
Please refer to Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Well, at least those he kind of looked okay. In this, listen, that was big budget AAA money we're talking on that side of things.
I know, and it was okay.
And it was okay at best, right? Like there's no way this is gonna be better than that, right? Right? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Anyways, go on, Devin.
Sony wants to help Bungie turn its franchises into movies. Speaking during an earnings call Q&A, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki was asked what benefits Bungie itself saw in being acquired by Sony. Totoki's answer covered areas such as hiring and employee retention, but moved on to Sony's position as a multimedia company. Quote, it's not just for the gaming area, but the multi-using of IP and merchandising of IP. Like a game title may be put into movies. Bungie wants to nurture the IP they have in a multi-dimensional manner, and that's their hope. For that, we believe we can help that. We have Sony Pictures and Sony Music, and Bungie can leverage our platforms so that their IP can flourish and grow big. With that being said, there is a huge amount of lore in Destiny, for instance, right? A huge amount of lore.
Yeah.
They reference like older like fire teams and stuff like that, that plays into the story and stuff that's like all past tense from like when you play the game. There's the fallout of how the Golden Age ended. There is the Golden Age, the war between light and dark. There's a lot of stuff that they could do in that, and I'd really love to see them do an animated series on that. Yeah. or even a television series of some sort. They have very notable voice actors and actresses that they could even have them repraise their roles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which would be really, really cool to see. I think that would be good as long as it looks better than the Uncharted movie.
I'm sure it will. I mean, like the tough thing too is like Uncharted also had a couple other hands going on in there too. It's interesting to think about. I do want to mention I want to take credit for this because I mentioned this when we were talking about the Sony Bungie thing before we outed that there's a really good chance that they were wanting to make Destiny movie content and like that, and that makes sense because like I think Sony is really investing into this like video game movie adaptation thing more than they're trying to like really let off. And that is both worrisome and really awesome at the same time. I'm concerned that they're wanting to do it because Netflix found some success with like doing stuff like that with like their relatively okay like anime adaptations and stuff like that, like leading up to it. I think that's a bad call. I think that's a bad reason to want to do it because Netflix does not nail that every time. And we definitely are very like aware that that's the reality of it. There's a really good chance that Uncharted might not be good at all. It's probably going to be very bad. And I'm very excited to see it because of such. But if there's any universe to do that with, I think this is a good one for it. I just hope that they do it justice as two guys that have loved Destiny in some way, shape, or form. You know,
and I think the best way that they could do that is personally by going off of the lore of the game, not the story of what they've been telling in the game. So that way they can be kept very separate, and that lore can be elaborated on a lot further, and those characters can be built up to the point that we see them.
You mean you don't want to see Cade 6 die again on the big screen? You don't want to see him.
Spoilers. I'm kidding.
Fucking Forsaken was moons ago, my guy. No pun intended, but you know.
yeah.
Moon's Haunted.
Scream 6 officially announced. Production is expected to begin this summer with James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick writing the script. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Matt Bettinelli Opine, and a member of the directing trio Radio Silence, and Tyler Gillette will return to direct. Vanderbilt, a member of the Project X Entertainment production company, will produce Scream 6 alongside colleagues Paul Neinstein and William Sherrick. Cool, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I listen, I like the original Scream movies, okay? I enjoy them. I know you don't. I loved the original Scream trilogy, okay? This last Scream movie was not it for me. It just was not it for me. And because of such, I have zero excitement for this. I know there's some people in our audience that do. For me, it's just not my fucking thing. I couldn't do it the last movie. If you guys saw, I gave it an official like 5 out of 10, dude. It's not me. It's not me, bro. Like I know it's very much not for you. Dude. But I mean, like, hey, it found success though. Like, it made a lot of fucking money, dude. And I understand that we're the odd ones out when it comes to this conversation because, like, for whatever reason, Scream just never did it for you, and for whatever reason, this new Scream just did not do it for me. Cool. I mean, like this does it for somebody.
The Zoomers.
Shut. Last of the wave, Devin. Let's do it.
This one is actually kind of exciting, y'all. Goosebumps live action TV series officially announced for Disney Plus. As reported by Variety, the new series will follow 5 high schoolers trying to save their own from a host of supernatural creatures. It sounds like it won't be an anthology series this time around, putting it more in line with the feature films than the original Nickelodeon television show, which ran from 1996 to 1998. Yo, I'm actually kind of dope. Like, that's dope. Yeah. I would like to see Jack Black return.
Oh, for the show instead of just the movie? Yeah. I mean, like, I thought he made a pretty fun R.L. Stein. You know what I mean? Like, I think he made a pretty fun thing here. I mean, it was a little more family friendly that I personally would have wanted it to be. Even though I do understand,
But it's always
like,
been that way.
Goosebumps
It's always been
is
that.
that type. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I kind of wish that they would have let it age with us, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard though, right? Because it's like there are so many things already in that wheelhouse for our age,
Yeah.
where this is very catered towards younger audiences, and it always has been, right?
Right.
So
right.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I would hope, like, if they did, let's say, for example, they did Animorphs, right? I would want Animorphs to be kind of fucked up. Like, if you ask
Well,
me,
yeah,
like,
that would make more sense though than Goosebumps to me, especially
Would
knowing
it,
that
though?
this is going to be a Disney Plus show. Disney Plus
sure.
isn't really known for like doing adult themed horror. Like the closest we get to that is fucking Marvel, right?
Sure, 100%. I guess a better point would be I wish Disney Plus wasn't doing this. Like I wish this would have been an HBO Max thing, and they would have gotten just a little bit fucked up. Just a wee bit, like a not as fucked up Black Mirror. That's kind of what I wanted.
I feel like this would have been better for like Paramount Plus. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen enough on Paramount Plus to actually have faith in them yet. So like,
let me tell you, I watched those South Park post-pandemic specials.
Okay, listen, that's a whole other thing. Matt Stone and Trey Parker, a whole other ball game, my guy.
I mean, but like, they have the deal with Nickelodeon as well. Paramount Plus does. Like, Nickelodeon is on Paramount Plus. So like, I feel like it would have had a better spot there because I feel like Nickelodeon was a little bit more edgier than Disney ever has been, right? When it comes to like that kind of stuff. I mean, we got the wild thornberries,
I mean, like that's still kind of in the same wheelhouse there. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking like,
but more absurd.
I want Goosebumps to feel like Maze Runner. You know what I mean? Let's say still a little family friendly. Still a little family friendly, but still a little fucked up. Like there's kids that die in that fucking movie.
Oh, Hunger Games.
Yeah, I want it to be just like just a slightly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but that's why I was gonna say I feel like Paramount Plus could have been then, and not in the sense of the Nickelodeon thing. It's the fact that they have the Nickelodeon licenses, right?
Yeah,
and we are getting a Halo show that looks very, very violent. So it's
sure.
They like there could have been adaptions on top of that, but I mean, we don't know until we see it, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. You're right. You're onto it. You're right. Devin, let's go ahead and move away from this. Let's move into the Helm. Yeah, the Helm. First off, my friend, PlayStation to launch more than 10 live service games by 2026. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale. That's a fun name. Dinsdale.
Sounds like a town in Fable.
Dinsdale, yeah, it does. From IGN, and it says this: PlayStation plans to release, quote unquote, more than 10 live service games by March 2026, a feat that will be helped by its acquisition of Bungie. Speaking during Sony's latest earnings call, CFO Hiroki Totoki said, quote, through close collaboration with Bungie and the PlayStation studios, we aim to launch more than 10 live service games by the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2026. Live service games are games that are updated with new content over time, often making the majority of their money through in-game purchases rather than initial sales. Totoki pointed to a huge jump in revenue from these kinds of games as part of the reason for Sony pursuing the model. Quote, from calendar year 2014 to calendar year 2021, the size of the global game content market doubled, driven by add-on content revenue from live service games, which grew at an average annual rate of 15% during this period. We expect this trend to continue going forward, end quote. Bungie's early investment into live service games with the launch of Destiny 2014 allowed it to accumulate, quote, a wealth of experience and superb technology in the space, Totoki said. something Sony sees as a major asset in acquiring the studio. Quote, the strategic significance of this acquisition lies not only in obtaining the highly successful Destiny franchise as well as major new IP that Bungie is currently developing, explained Totoki, but also in incorporating into the Sony group the expertise and technologies that Bungie has developed in the live game services space. We intend to utilize these strengths when developing game IP at the PlayStation Studios as we expand into live game services area, end quote. It will be something of a major shift for first-party Sony games, which have intended to focus on single-player narrative experiences in recent years, often to huge acclaim. It's unlikely that Sony will abandon that strategy, but it feels likely that live service games will become a major part of the company's output. Oh, excuse me, I burped. Bungie is already working on a quote-unquote comedic new IP that is quite possibly a part of the selection of live service games that Sony plans on releasing. Interestingly, while these may be first-party games, they may not be the exclusives that Sony is notable for sticking to. Totoki also said the company plans to extend its presence across non-PlayStation platforms, PC, referencing the recent success of God of War on PC. Quote, we intend to acquire new users and increase engagement on platforms other than PlayStation, end quote, he said. This push could be tied to the Xbox Game Pass competitor that Sony is reportedly working on, but could also mean its continued release of first-party PlayStation games on PC, and the work of Bungie in a multi-platform space. The combination of live service titles and multi-platform releases is something Sony is banking on as a huge revenue driver in the coming years. Quote, catalyzed by the acquisition of Bungie, continued Totoki, we intend to accelerate the growth of our first-party game software revenue, aiming to more than double the amount of fiscal year 2025. End quote. Yes.
So, I have a thought on this. I feel like this kind of news might upset a little bit of the core PlayStation audience who preferably play PlayStation because they want those single-player experiences, right? We do know that that is a conversation. I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. I do want to point that out. I just feel like more of the culture around PlayStation, people might get iffy about this kind of news. You being more generally geared towards PlayStation, how do you feel about that?
I think it's a non-argument. I think that you can do both. And I think that, I think that the audience, because I do see what you're talking about. There are what we've talked about it a million times before, the toxic fucking gamer dudes that so happen to be PlayStation fans that are over here like, no, the exclusives are what we come for. We want exclusives. Give us our exclusives. Give us our first player experiences. That's what we want. Blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. It is you. They can do both and still be wildly successful. Still be wild. It's not like PlayStation's only been doing first party single player experiences. They've been doing other fucking games as well. That just so happens to be the ones that were most successful with PlayStation. Now, just because they're going to do live service doesn't mean that they're going to step away from doing more first party single player experiences. Like they know it's successful.
And the other thing that concerns me, and I'm sure concerns any other gamer, is our biggest complaint with live service. Granted, I do play Final Fantasy 14 a lot. Sure. Biggest complaint with live service is the amount of in-game paywalls and stuff like that you have, you know. And Destiny has been quite rampant with that as of late as well. And it's kind of been a little bit of a turnoff for me.
Well, check this out. That actually was going to be my question to you in regards to this. I mean, outside of MMORPGs like Final Fantasy 14, like Warcraft, like those games that we're actively paying month by month to experience for, we've seen the results of Square Enix's The Avengers. And that was a live service game. And that was sort of, you know, because Square Enix and PlayStation have a very close partnership. PlayStation, obviously, with the Spider-Man rollout that they're trying, you know, that they're doing, it's... is this a good idea? Like, let's be real. Like, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think that they have the capability to pull this off? Like, because when I was talking about this the other day, when I was saying that, like, like they're more than likely doing this for Bungie's experience with like live service gaming, with like their experience with that. This is not what I thought they were going to do. Like I thought we were talking about their knowledge in that sense of other things, you know what I mean? I didn't realize that they're like, hey, Destiny's a live service game. Let's learn how to do more live service games.
So it's like a catch-22, right? It's
yeah, in order 66, yeah.
It's
Do it. Embrace the power of the dark side.
No, it has me worried, right? Because like even for me, like I like games like Halo, I like games like Destiny, but like you do hear me shit on the in-game purchases and stuff all the time. You like the color red should not be $10 to get for your fucking Spartan. You know what I mean?
Like, sure should not. You're right.
Yeah, like maybe $1 or some in-game currency or some shit like that.
Right.
You know,
right.
I'm not the biggest fan of in-game purchases. I never have been unless it's been like DLC related, right?
Right.
Because I mean, skins to me are like, it's like a content that should be in the game that's unlockable already. You know what I mean? And I'm getting, me personally, I'm just getting over the same game being released constantly, because we see that a lot. Counter-Strike, Valorant, blah, 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 blah. You know, list goes on.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're bad games. It's just like, they're all samey same with just a couple different twists here and there to keep it quote unquote original. I don't want to see PlayStation fall down that rabbit hole just trying to make money, because that's what this sounds like to me. They're trying to just make money off of this, right? At least off of this story right here. We saw it happen with Battlefront 2. Like we saw that tank for that first year and a half.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen with a lot of EA games, with Madden and FIFA, you know, NBA 2K as well. Nobody's asking for that. I mean,
yeah,
granted,
honestly, I was gonna say, like, I don't like. Are people that like wanting more live service? Is that something people are wanting more of? I don't think they are. Like,
no. Because, you know, people really only have time for like one or two of those games in their lifetime, really, like at a time.
Yeah.
And like, you really have to commit to them. I mean, like, you felt it yourself. You don't play Destiny for 3 months and you get back into it. You're like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on?
How dude, I mean, like,
keep up with these
the
people?
amount of fucking
You know
time
what I
that I spent on Destiny on the Division 2, a game that you hate.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my god, I fucking hate you.
There's
dun, dun.
Oh yeah, sorry. Here you go. I got it. There's
Emotional.
there's hours, endless hours I've spent on these fucking games. I could not imagine spending more time on more of them at one sitting. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be way too fucking stressful. I don't know. I mean, like, I do have to push back a little bit on the thing of this sounds like it's just them looking for money, because let's be real, they're a business. Yeah, all video game industry businesses are going to be looking for ways to make money. Sure. That's, you know, like, I totally get where the concern is at, but let's be real, that's always the game plan. I just don't think this is the best way to do it.
So, for instance, just to go off of a recent live service game, like we talked about the Avengers, their peak concurrent player count for the last 30 days was 1,050. And they average about 502 people on at a time.
That's really bad.
Yeah. So
really bad. Oh,
and
no.
I don't think people want like live service. Granted, there is that game Arc Raiders coming out though. That is going to be a live service game. That is also going to be a multi-platform game and crossplay.
Sure. Hold on. Let me back up here. Do people want 6 of them?
No.
That's more so what I meant, right? Like,
yeah, and here's what it's probably going to be, guys. We're probably going to see Ghost of Tsushima Legends get a somewhat standalone thing I could see that happening because that's already kind of diving into the live service. I could see Last of Us Factions being a live service game. Maybe it has an open world multiplayer concept to it, and maybe that's why we haven't seen anything about that game yet.
I think that's gonna piss people off. I think that's gonna.
I
piss
know,
people
but
off,
like, let's be real. That is a reality.
It is a reality. There is a choice.
You know, we already know that they're working on a multiplayer Last of Us game. There's a lot of money and a lot of push going behind Horizon right now, and Horizon is a very big world too. It might not just be a new IP thing, but it might be expanding upon the IPs they already have with the systems and places that they already have built, right?
Yeah.
And the engines they already have built. And it might just be curating that to a live service platform to make multiplayer experiences, hopefully standalone. So we can see how that goes, you know?
Okay.
Because I feel like making 6 new IPs that are all live service, all within the next 3 years. What the fuck are you doing, Sony? You know what that says to me? That says crunch and like mistreatment of developers. That's what I hear, especially with COVID still being a thing and people working from home. They're like, there's no way that's going to happen.
Because it's like, how many studios does PlayStation have, right? Like, it's not a crazy amount. It's not a crazy amount. And like, even with like Bungie, like that wasn't that was an acquisition, but it wasn't like a full on, like you're only doing stuff for us. Like Bungie's still going to be multi-platform. Like it's like how many, like if we're talking 6 live service games, that's 6 different studios that are going to be handling constant content rollouts all the time. Like that's absurd. Anyways,
yeah, I mean, in short, I hope it can be pulled off correctly.
Yeah.
I don't see this going well.
We'll see. Yeah. Also, I want to point out too, really quick, I don't know if you're seeing on stream or whatever. I've been trying to figure out what looks weird about her layout right now. Something just felt different. And I found out I had the footer turned off on the bottom. And I was like, oh, there we go. That's what happened.
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
Now we look a little more. I was like, why the fuck is there so much space on the bottom? Now we're good. Now we're even. Yeah. Now we're actually figured out here. Anyways, Devin, hit him with our second story, my guy.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is in, quote, active development, Rockstar confirms. And this comes from Michael McWhorter.
Michael McWhorter.
What am I saying? What weird?
A name with a lot of air. Let's go.
Yeah. This is coming from Michael McWhorter over at Polygon. Rockstar Games confirmed Friday that it's currently working on the next-gen game in the Grand Theft Auto series, presumably, but yet not officially titled Grand Theft Auto 6, saying that active development on its next-gen open-world crime spree game is, quote, well underway, end quote. Confirmation of the new Grand Theft Auto came tucked away in a community update on, of all things, GTA, including Grand Theft Auto 5, originally released way back in 2013, 2 generations ago, might I add, and the enduring Grand Theft Auto Online. Quote, with the unprecedented longevity of Grand Theft Auto 5, we know many of you have been asking us about the new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project we embark on, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered. And we are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready. So please stay tuned to Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our entire team, we thank you all for your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you, end quote. Rockstar did not offer any additional details on the next entry in the GTA franchise. Release dates, platforms, the game's location, and gameplay specifics will have to wait until the developer sees fit to announce them. But with an audience of more than 155 million players on Grand Theft Auto 5 and an ever-growing world in GTA Online, expectations for GTA 6 are high. Grand Theft Auto 5 will find an even larger audience next month when the game is re-released in enhanced form for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Rockstar will bring GTA 5 to the latest consoles from Sony and Microsoft on March 15th. Those versions of GTA 5 will feature updated visuals up to 4K resolution, up to 60 frames per second, texture and draw distance upgrades, HDR options, and ray tracing. A standalone version of GTA Online will also arrive on March 15th, which will be available for free for the first 3 months to PlayStation 5 players. The Grand Theft Auto franchise turns 25 this year. The first game, Grand Theft Auto, was released on MS-DOS, PlayStation, and Windows PC in 1997. After 2 entries and spin-offs, Rockstar reinvented its action crime series with 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3, a 3D open-world action-adventure game that spawned 2 best-selling sequels, Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto 4 followed in 2008. Since Grand Theft Auto 5's release in 2013, Rockstar has released just one brand new game, Red Dead Redemption 2. Over the past 8 years, much of Rockstar's effort has been focused on supporting GTA Online and Red Dead Online, barely, and re-releasing portions of its back catalog. The studio shipped Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition, a remaster of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas to mixed response in November. The collection launched in a buggy state, leading to a contrite developer to apologize, update, and overhaul the game. I mean, if you didn't think this was in development after it being 9 years, then I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Now the fun part, I mean, like seeing that like they're actually pretty far in the production side of things is good to know. It's like it's been 10 years, my guy. It's been so long. I'm playing the trailer for people at home to kind of see like what this game like looked like / looks like, and like I can't honestly. I'm both surprised and unsurprised that this took this long to come out. Cause it's like the part of me that is surprised is like they this was so long ago, dude. It was so fucking long ago. But the part of me that's unsurprised is the amount of money that game that fucking game had made over time. Of course, they milked it for every fucking dollar they could get, right? Like, we talked earlier about like a business trying to make some fucking money moves. Like, this was it. This is a prime example, my dude. Like, Jesus.
I played Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox 360, and I remember that game taking damn near 10 minutes to load.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was insane to the membrane. Insane, got no brain. No, but like by the time this game comes out, it's gonna be like what, 2024, 2025, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
The one part that does have me semi excited about this, because I've kind of like, since, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, I've been like, sure, whatever, okay, Grand Theft Auto, sure, okay, you know, that's just been my personal feeling on it.
Yeah.
But the one line I want to stand out here is, on behalf of our entire team, we thank you for all the support and cannot wait to step into the future with you. Emphasis on that word future. So, talking about development of a new game, we've heard in the past that the Grand Theft Auto 6 might have a little bit more serious of a tone. Do you think this is going to be maybe in the future, since notoriously up until Grand Theft Auto 5, everything was kind of like in eras, you know, like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, present. Do you think we're going into the future now? Do you think that's a possibility?
Like future Liberty City, huh? I don't know. It's hard to say. They could do that. I mean, they could try to break the formula of like modern day, just like gang life. They could try to do like future gang life. To me, that more so read off as this game is not going to be on last gen consoles.
No, not at all. They already said it's going to be next gen. They said it's being and one thing I want to point out, they said PS5 and Series X. They did not mention the Series S.
That's true. That is true. Now, obviously, that's a whole other conversation. Like we could run half a podcast on that subject alone. As far as the like whether or not they would even like be on last gen consoles, like for sure, that's for sure thing. I just more so think that that's kind of like what that was aiming towards. If they did do futuristic GTA, I think that's cool. I think that's a really cool idea. I'm here for that actually.
I want to see like a mob centric futuristic GTA, and it doesn't have to be that far in the future either. Just
Like-
go a little bit further,
Like Bicentennial
mob.
Man.
No, like give me the Godfather, but in like 2040.
Yeah, Bicentennial
I mean?
Man starring Robin Williams.
We don't make jokes about Robin Williams.
I know we don't. You're right. I take that back. I rescind my comment, guys. I'm sorry. Bad jokes here. No, Future Mob. I like that. I like that more than what Detroit Become Human did. Because I think like when we think of like future stuff, we think now of Detroit Become Human, things like Cyberpunk, like, and I think GTA has a better chance of giving us a better Cyberpunk 2077 than Cyberpunk 2077 did.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a really, really cool concept. Obviously, super speculative. We don't even know if this is actually what it's going to be, but I do like that idea.
The only other thing though is like, isn't that just Watch Dogs?
Not gameplay wise. I mean, like it's a little bit different, and also too, it kind of depends on like how far in the future we're talking here. Because like Watch Dogs was in the future, but it wasn't like future. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
like,
talking. I would want to see GTA take a not so distant future approach. Not to bring up a game that hasn't been doing that well, but like how Battlefield 2042 is just 20 years in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to see an approach like that. So that way we still have like relatable landscapes and relatable, like if for this case, very core for Grand Theft Auto, we have relatable like cars and weaponry and like sceneries, like stuff like that.
So it's modern day.
Not modern day, but just like 10, 15, 20 years in the future. So it's like,
but what does that change then?
What does that change? I mean, there could be like elaborations of like car models. Like this is maybe what the Mustang will look like then, or the Corvette. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Sure.
Like elaborations of things that are already in existence. So that way it's more relatable. Because that's kind of been a thing for Grand Theft Auto, right? It's like, oh, I have this car in real life. Oh, I want this car in real life. Or, hey, this is, I've been in this area before that this part of the game is based off of, whether it be Beverly Hills or like in New York City in Grand Theft Auto 4, shit like that. That kind of relatable approach that they've always done. And, give me a phone again that I can walk around, put cheats in and just spawn boats and make them fall out of the air. But like, I mean, again, we can only speculate. Rockstar is extremely tight-lipped and extremely money hungry. So I just hope that they put the care and love into this that it would deserve, because they haven't really been that supportive of the Red Dead Online community, which we've talked about before in the past. And the trilogy remaster had a terrible launch, like god-awful launch. And a lot of people were saying the remaster looked worse than some of the original games. So
we'll see, right?
Yeah. And I only point that out is because we got to hold some companies accountable who are reaching for money, right? Because that's kind of what's been going on.
I mean, they're all reaching for money, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's like there's nothing we're ever gonna be able to do about that. Yeah. Some overreach, and I do see where you're coming from with that. I just don't want to be on the side of thinking that companies, like, being so naive that like companies like just
that's not
make
the
money
case at
moves
all.
That's not, because there are some
not,
people that think that way.
Yeah.
Right. There are some people that think that way. And I'm just like, we cannot sit here and just expect these.
I think we've established
money, right?
enough in the past that we aren't like that. It's just in this case of Rockstar specifically, like
10 years of milking it. Yeah.
10 years of milking it and putting out a terrible remaster / cell phone port as an official $60 release on next gen consoles. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Just
you know what I mean?
Just staying in their fucking bag. But speaking of staying in the bag, Devin, I want to remind everyone that before we move on to our last story, they can support us over at patreon.com/goodkraken show, where they can get early access on this episode before it goes public. They can write into the show, and they can get this episode ad-free. But if they're hearing this, they aren't on our Patreon. So for now, my friends, here's a word from our sponsors.
This piece of Good Kraken content is brought to you by Glide mousepads. PC gaming and office work is more popular than ever before, making your workflow and efficiency an absolute necessity. You need your peripherals and accessories to be running silky smooth in order for you to keep kicking ass and taking names, and Glide is the perfect piece to that puzzle for your arsenal that you've been trying to solve. Glide Mousepads is the future industry leader in mousepads, offering beautiful, smooth, waterproof products made with eco-friendly materials and a non-slip rubber in a variety of sizes that are guaranteed to help you get that next win. Are you looking for smoother pinpoint accuracy? Are you feeling resistance while gliding your mouse across your battle rug? You've probably watched our GK content before, and you probably know I do a lot of PC and FPS gaming. And let me tell you, this mousepad is perfect for you. You can go to glidemousepads.com right now and use the code Kraken for 15% off the Founders Edition mousepad in every size available. Again, that's code KRAKEN, Kraken, for 15% off any Founders Edition mousepad today. Our next sponsor is Rogue Energy. If you're anything like us here at GK, you were probably up late last night. You got up out of bed this morning and you were still tired. You don't know how long you were gaming for. It's a catastrophe. But what you do know is that your everyday cup of coffee just isn't hitting the way it used to. And now we've got a better way for waking you up before and during your next gaming session. Rogue Energy is a low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula that is a perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Every formula Rogue Energy produces is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients and no chalky textures. Being the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, Rogue Energy strives to improve the in-game performance of gamers, streamers, and content creators everywhere. You can head on over to rogueenergy.com, use the code GKRAKEN for 10% off of your purchase of any shaker or formula tub of your choosing. That's right, the code is GKRAKEN for 10% off any shaker or formula tub that you'd like. Now, back to our regular Good Kraken programming.
Welcome back, guys. So we talked a little bit. We are going to skip our third story again here. Devin, I'm going to try to figure out some, we're going to talk after the show. We're going to try to figure out some better ways to kind of go about like the structure of things. I've noticed we've been not doing post shows really often. I want us to try to avoid that. So we'll talk about it after the show because we don't want to restrict people from content, but we also don't want to be like beating our heads in for fucking 2 hours and like, you know, leave our patrons out from content that they deserve. So with that said, guys, Disney Plus Exec accidentally leaked a information on Star Wars Obi-Wan release date. Big oopsie. Ross Burlingame from comicbook.com talked about it. But yeah, a good old gentleman tweeted out our very own Obi-Wan will be saying hello there on May 2022.
Hello there.
Yeah, dude.
General Kenobi.
Like fucking oh boy, what an oopsie there. But we're excited. We're definitely fucking excited. In the meantime, guys, we're gonna move into hands on deck. Now, Devin, you were mentioning to me earlier that you're gonna have a little bit of a weird hands on deck today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple things. Go ahead, my guy.
So, guys, Final Fantasy 14 is a commitment.
Fair enough.
Just want to start off there. It is great. Again, reiterating on last time. Great community, good storyline, lot of gameplay. The gameplay loop is very long, very big, and there's just almost an overwhelming amount of things to do in that game. But there's always something that caters to how you want to play. Just want to touch that off. I'm still doing the vanilla game right now, working it through. Me and a lot of people in our Discord community, we were curious because we've all been playing the game. We looked it up recently. This game story content, they're saying, depending on how casually you play, the vanilla story can take you about 2 to 3 whole months just for that. And there's also 4 expansions, and they said the story content is about 2 months each. So it's a very long game. So I will be touching this at key points later on in the future. A couple things I want to mention, though, is I have been up to date with Demon Slayer Kietsu no Yiba Entertainment District. And
okay.
This arc is nutty. Okay,
I've heard it's fire, dude. I heard it's real fire.
Like literally
and
figuratively. Let me tell you. So,
thank you, Reed.
all I gotta say is Yetsuyo no Kagura.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. It definitely dives into Tanjiro's abilities a lot more and him growing. Same with the other characters, Inosuke and Zenitsu. You really get to see their growth from the last arc to now, especially after the Mugen Train movie. And the art style is just still extremely superb. I love the blend of colors that they use in this. With the hard, like very manga style, like borders and edging that they use, but only on specific things. So, like for instance, when they're using their breathing techniques and releasing their powers and stuff like that, like especially with like Tanjiro's water, like it'll be very classic, like Japanese authentic, like water works, but it'll have like the hard, like black, like manga outlines and everything too, which is really, really cool to see. Now they have new powers and new abilities through the training that they've gathered, and I won't say exactly what they are, but other thing I want to mention.
God damn it.
Ain's on dick. The other thing I want to mention too is I can't say a lot about this one particularly without giving any spoilers away, but I have been watching the final season of Attack on Titan, and guys, there's some twist that just happened and some wild like fan theories that have been circulating for the last few years that have kind of come into play. And this show is wild, like absolutely wild. And we all know that the zeitgeist of what Attack on Titan has been, right?
Yeah.
It's just, again, animation on point, story on point, character involvement on point, you know.
That's when I started and then just never like followed through with like keeping up with it, unfortunately. It was good when I was watching it though. I did like it.
I only watched the first 2 seasons and then I didn't watch it for a very long time. And then me and my partner Sierra got caught back up this last year because the final season was airing and stuff like that. And they did it kind of in a 2-part, like they release it and you watch it, and then 6 months later they did the other half. And that's I'm pretty sure we only have like 1 or 2 more episodes before Attack on Titan is just done now.
Yeah. Okay.
So very, very good. Very good. So yeah, other than that, we're going to be talking about Dying Light 2 a lot next week. I can promise you that.
Well, we're doing a first impressions on Tuesday, so we'll be talking about that when we go over the schedule. And Yes,
of
very
it,
much so. Very much
which
so.
you
And I'm
guys
so
will want to
excited,
be
dude.
there.
Yes,
The game's good.
dude,
I
it's
think
so
we're going to
good.
be playing some more tonight. So let's just
Yeah.
say I can speak for everybody out of us at GK who's played it. We all like it so far.
So far, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um,
Ernell, what do you got going on? What about you?
So my hands on this week is actually going to be a follow up on what I talked about during our last episode. Is All of Us Are Dead. So at first, when I covered it the other day, I was on episode 5. I have now completed the show, and this show is fucking good, dude. It has a couple episodes that simmer things down, but the way that they ramp up to the kids. So for anyone that didn't watch or listen to our last episode, All of Us Are Dead is a show on Netflix. It's another piece of Korean content, horror content, excuse me. That is a zombie story. It's a zombie story, and ground zero in the zombie story is a high school in Hyosan, Korea, South Korea. That is. The zombie outbreak happens there, and then it spreads around the city from the high school. And the story is sort of focused around like 20 various kids in this high school that all like know each other in some way, shape, or form or another. And they're all trying to survive this fucking zombie apocalypse as it's unfolding before them. Because the high school is ground zero, there's a fucking lot of zoobies in there, my dude. Like, the whole school is fucking packed with them, dude. It's wild. But the story does a good job of unfolding the outbreak in a very interesting way in the first couple of episodes, and then really unfolding the story of like how these kids are handling surviving the zombie attack, and then unfolding them trying to be saved, and then unfolding them trying to escape. And it sort of like happens in like 3 to 4 episode increments. This season has 12 episodes. I can say I don't know if they're going to do a second season, but it could be doable just because of how they leave things off. There is some supernatural stuff in it where the virus evolves to where some people that get infected do not completely turn into zombies. They just get elevated strength and speed and senses, and they utilize that in such a way that's like kind of cool. It's just anime enough that like you're like, okay, I see y'all. There's even a point. The only thing that I'll like give to you, there's even a point where a couple of them meet, and it's kind of hype, dude. It's kind of fucking hype. Like it's super dope. Yeah, I honestly like I said before, for any of my friends or family out there that for any of you listeners, anyone that enjoys zombie content, do not be deterred by the language barrier. The show is dubbed. It does offer also subtitles if you would like. Both actually surprisingly good. The dub is very, very well done in this, and I think they pulled it off really well. Reed in the chat says the good old Uncharted factor. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We're almost there. Reed. We'll be talking about those movies here in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be talking about I'm saying. Yeah, no, it's they handled the show very well. At first I was worried because it was kind of going some places, but no, they handled it. They handled it beautifully. Yes, if you like zombie stuff, watch this damn show. It is a lot of fun. It's really, really cool. The character relationships is just, it's done really, dude. Korean content has just been nailing it every fucking time for me. Like every damn time they're just coming out with stuff that's just been blowing my fucking mind. And I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. Give us more Korean horror because they just getting us. Just getting me.
Did you watch Sweet Home?
Yeah. I watched half of it. I haven't finished it yet. But
okay.
Yeah. I need to get back on track with that
it's similar vibes. I will say that. Yeah, definitely.
I've heard it's actually more fucked up. Actually,
it's very fucked up. It's more on the supernatural sect of things. But yeah, definitely watch that. because I watched that, and that was adapted directly off of a webtoon as well.
Yes, it is.
Online comic.
Mhm,
So
yeah, very much
yeah,
so.
yeah.
And I mean, like, don't be deterred. Like, like the focus of this is not these kids getting like abilities or anything like that. That's not like what the focus is. It just so happens that they sort of use it as a layer of like some of these kids you can't tell are infected. So it's sort of a way for them to explain some of the kids being asymptomatic and how that plays into the narrative itself. They use it very intelligently. They did it very, very well, and I'm glad that they didn't take the route of like, oh, now all these kids are gonna get fucking superpowers or some shit like that, because then I would have been like, all right, I'm out, because that's like
You're
too
I'll
much.
go watch
guys.
My Hero instead.
Yeah, like if I wanted, I would have totally gone a different direction with this. But using a zombie apocalypse to explain how kids got superpowers is not where I want this to be, and that's not where they go with it. Thankfully, it's not. So yeah,
Read in chat goes, I don't understand how Korean shows and movies are so dark and depressing, and then their music is all bubblegum pop. Read, it's called balance.
Like Thanos said, balanced, like all things should be, my dude. You know, he also said the my dude thing. Fun fact. It was in small print, but you know you could hear that.
And he said it under his breath. He was just kind of like, my dude.
My dude. He's really quiet as he's like holding her hand or whatever.
Yeah. I still do want to watch that show. I just haven't, because like, again, new video games and MMO and current new episodes of anime, it's a lot to keep up with, you know.
I mean, when you and Sierra get a chance to, definitely do it, dude. I think you guys are really gonna like it.
We will. It's on our watch list right now. I'm also watching Ozark, which is a commitment in itself.
It is,
you know.
Yeah, that's why I haven't gone
episodes per season, all an hour long. You know, so and we're 4 seasons now.
Yeah,
and I'm just at the end of the first, but like it's on my list. I'll probably start watching it once Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan end, because we're like within the next couple weeks. I'm pretty sure both of these arcs are going to be closed. Yeah. So that's probably when I'll be getting to it. But speaking of my dude, what do we have next? My dude,
Devin, we have the Gallows, my dude.
The Gallows, my dude.
You couldn't live with your failures. So where did that bring you? Back to me.
My dude. He whispers it. They're like, what'd you say? And he's like, nothing.
Actually, that's the reason why Thor chopped Thanos' head off in Endgame.
He heard him say it.
Yeah. Because Thor was like, I'm not your dude, guy.
And then Thanos is like, you should have aimed for the head. My dude.
My dude.
Devin, today for the Gallows, we are talking a very fun subject today, dude. We are talking my dude. That's gonna be a really fun joke going forward. We are talking movies that we felt committed crimes. Now, when we say this, we mean movies that have either been massive disappointments, movies that we think shouldn't have been made, movies that did themselves injustices, just the movies that we felt betrayed by.
Keyword injustice.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're gonna say some things. I
got lots of things I can bring up.
Devin,
right now.
let's just go one by one, dude. Let's go one by one. We'll take turns. What's the first movie that comes to mind that you think committed a crime?
Well, just off of what we just brought up, the newest Justice League Injustice movie, the animated movie that came out, that did not follow. It was adapted off of the video games Injustice 1 and 2, and it did not follow the story pretty much at all, besides like a couple things.
I didn't watch it. I heard it's actually pretty fun. That's wild. Okay.
If you've played the games, you will be mad.
No, I mean, I played the game. I didn't realize the games even had a fucking storyline, honestly.
Yeah.
Dude,
Injustice
like
2 is probably
a canon storyline. Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
Injustice 2 has a great storyline. Great. That follows up perfectly off of Injustice 1. First of all, the movie has different characters involved, which of course, sure, you know,
It's not
like
it's not okay.
no. It still has like your core, you know, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
Sure.
you know, shit like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But it brings in different characters than other characters because it's kind of like almost like a Suicide Squad thing where there's like Suicide Squad members and half of Justice League members and like other things like mixed together.
Okay.
You know, because it's really like all of a sudden half the villains are good and half the Justice League are bad type of deal, right?
That's oh god.
Yeah.
I don't like that already.
Because we're talking about an evil Superman story. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Reed says Arrow. Is that
Oh
like,
yeah. No, that part made me mad. I can't say a lot without spoiling. But like as someone who played the games, and the Injustice story was actually coveted as a very, very good DC Justice League story, you know, with high praise. And then seeing what they did with the animated movie, and me also holding DC animation to high praise because it's usually excellent, I was very disappointed with it. And they should have just done it with the original storyline in movie format.
That's kind of a bummer. Like I said, I saw a lot of people like talk about like saying that they thought it was a little bit fun, and like hearing that's a goddamn.
I'm gonna look up the score here real quick.
Okay, sure. look up that tomato meter. You gotta get that tomato meter. Give me the audience score.
6 out of 10. It got a 6 out of 10.
Okay, and that's tomato score or
no? This is
score?
IMDb.
Oh,
IMDb.
Okay. All right.
So
Find the Metacritic. What's the Metacritic on that?
Yeah. And I'm gonna look up the Metacritic for the game now.
Oh, I know the Metacritic for the game is gonna be a different story, but like, because that's I know that game has some love. It's got some love. It's got a good old. Cool
it's got an 87.
Yeah. That game got some love. That's for damn sure.
And let's look up the tomato meter.
Here we go, y'all. What do you got?
Got a 60% tomato score and a 38% audience score.
Ouch. Ouch, dog. That's
I feel like I am very valid in my feelings here.
Oh no, sure. I'm not sitting here trying to invalidate you. I'm just saying it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. So like maybe you saw some people who liked it, which are rare in that case.
Yeah, maybe, dude. Maybe. That's fucking odd. That's odd.
Yeah. It's just because like they did Justice League Dark before that, part 1 and 2 with Constantine and everything. It was fantastic. It was great. And then to release that pile of trash afterwards and just, you know, follow in suit with what Warner Brothers has been doing to the Justice League IP in the live action sense, I was just like, God damn, man, is there no hope anymore?
Reed says, you said the score for the movie. Now please ignore that I thought you were going to play the soundtrack. No. One, we don't want to get fucking flagged on Twitch for playing licensed music. But two, that's just unnecessary. You guys don't need that.
Yeah.
So, Devin, my first crime committing movie, my first criminal movie is going to be one Transformers: The Last Night.
Thank you.
Because this movie, even though it had the legendary Stanley Tucci in it, okay, we all love us some Stanley Tucci, okay? He fucking kills it. I was a cop in Boston. I'm on the beat. I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. Hey, Optimus, I found a Transformer. God damn it. This movie was such bullshit. This movie was bullshit, dude. The fact that The Last Night was Mark Wahlberg, spoilers, if you give a fuck, I guess. The fact that Marky Mark was The Last Night, and The Last Night wasn't some fucking cool Transformer that like was gonna save the fucking day was horseshit. It was horseshit. You're telling me they made that important? You're telling me that Mark Wahlberg was Assassin's Creed related to a Knight of the Round Table, and that made sense for the Transformers? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
So this movie in particular is the movie that made me realize that I hate Mark Wahlberg.
I mean, I don't hate him. I think there's movies he's good at.
No, he needs to stay in his bag and just do shit like the other guys and Daddy's Home and whatever.
He is very good in Lone Survivor. That's honestly one of my favorite military movies ever.
Okay.
He nails it in that movie. I just think any movie that is not any movie that's not serious enough is not going to be good for him.
He's good at doing comedies,
yes,
right? And military-esque movies Shooter. Shooter was a good one too.
Yes,
that was
very
a good
much
one.
so. Very much so.
But he should not be solely in Uncharted.
No, he shouldn't.
And
dog. No, he shouldn't.
He should have not been in the Transformers movies.
Dude.
It was just bad.
Dude.
It was just bad.
Dude. I can't. Anyways, Devin, what's your next one?
Oh boy. You're gonna hate me.
Am I?
Army of the Dead.
God, go fuck yourself. The movie wasn't that bad.
No. It had no continuity with itself. It had things coming up randomly throughout the movie with no explanation to the fact. The whole oh my god, why are their heads electrically frying out when they get shot in the head now? There was no continuity behind that. The storyline I could have done without the whole daddy-daughter bullshit that did not matter for what was happening at hand, of course, because the acting was played out very poorly.
Sure.
I think Dave Bautista was trying too hard to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in this movie.
Sure. Okay.
And I just didn't need it. Army of Thieves was great. They should have just done that movie, honestly. But Army of the Dead, it was a snooze fest for me, especially when it comes into terms of zombie movies. Even zombie movies that don't take themselves seriously, like Zombieland. It doesn't
Zombieland was purposely a comedy, though. They were
I know.
intending it to be a comedy.
I know.
Army of the Dead wasn't trying to be a comedy. It was trying to be campy. There's a difference, Devin. There's a difference. Just say you don't like campy movies. You know what I mean?
I just need Zack Snyder and his wife to split up so they can stop making terrible movies together and they can have an artistic art style. Okay.
When we found out she was the producer, that was one of the funniest moments of good Kraken history, dude. That was so good.
Yeah. No, I just I can't anymore. I have not liked a Zack Snyder production in forever. And let me tell you, I turned on 300 not too long ago, and that movie does not hold up. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Great for the time. I do want to say that. Great for the time.
I'm about to end this podcast, motherfucker. What about 300 does not hold up, Devin?
It's just cringy, man. It's just got.
How is it cringy? It's about the fucking battle of Thermopylae.
I'm not talking about 300 right now. I'm talking about Army of the Dead, and specifically, I'm talking about Zack Snyder's productions. What the fuck happened over the last decade, dude? You used to be a coveted director with a coveted art style, right? And it's just he's trying to be so serious to the point where things seem like they're supposed to be campy. You know what I mean? And it's just not it. It's just not it.
Army of Dead was supposed to be campy. But
was it, though?
Yes.
Was it?
He literally goes on record to say that. He literally says that.
But did we need that? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We didn't need that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I feel, you know what? You're my next one. I feel betrayed by you for saying 300 doesn't hold up. You motherfucker.
You know, here's one thing to say. If you remember going up to Army of the Dead, I was stoked about that movie.
What, 300? Or Army of the Dead?
I'm talking about Army of the Dead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And in the reference of 300, it's just not the same nowadays that it was back then. And if you heard what I said, it was great for its time.
It's great now. That's my point. It's great now. It's still good.
It's okay.
No, it's still good. It's still good. You're telling me you got to the scene. You got to the now. Listen, I can understand that this is Sparta Part because that shit got bled out dry by movies that were spoofing 300. I get that, but you're telling me that you didn't get to the first battle scene where they go shields up and they say put down your weapons and fucking Leonidas, King Leonidas, Gerard Butler says come and get them and you didn't get a fucking hard on. You're telling us
now look. I didn't say 300 committed a crime here.
Okay.
I'm talking about Zack Snyder's production specifically.
So good
it's like it's like he's carrying over that campiness, right, into everything moving forward when he needs to learn how to adapt and evolve it and make it better, right? Yeah, because he's making it worse.
Sure. Let's catch up with reading the chat really quick. Said Assassin's Creed the movie is an honorable mention. I don't know if I can agree with that. I kind of liked it. It was more snoozy than I wanted it to be because there's just not a lot that happens. Hi Esco, we love you. Hi, hello.
Hey, I'm wearing a red hat, Esco.
You are doing
not a black one.
Yeah, I mean, like Assassin's Creed, I can understand why people didn't like it because they really did not like it. Thank you, Esco. Thank you. I like my Peaky Blinders hat too. Thank you. It's the only thing that makes me look official in any capacity, besides just like my regular hair when I have a haircut. Yeah. But I can understand why people didn't like Assassin's Creed. That
is a movie that I actually did enjoy, and
I enjoyed
in part
I was okay
because
with it, yeah.
I really like Michael Fassbender like a lot.
Fucking acting god, dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
Reed says, I thought you were talking about Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 3. I was about to throw hands. Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Ernell and I, we hold the Evil Dead series close to our hearts. Okay?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Now, Reed, if you try to sit here and tell me that the Evil Dead remake that happened was not good, then I'll start fighting. Oh
yeah, right? I will fight you.
Fucking good movie.
And
good horror movie.
It's a remake, but it's a continuation.
Yeah, I forgot the official terminology for it. It's like because it's not quite a
soft
reboot. It's technically, like soft reboot. Yeah. Was it as good? No, but it was good. I mean, like, I can't say it was as good because they're just like two completely different movies, right? Like Evil Dead 3 was the epitome of campy as fuck. Like that was like when campy was camp and it was good and it was solid. And that's what we wanted. Evil Dead, like soft reboot, is actually just a horror movie. And they nailed it. They fucking nailed it. But my next crime movie, just to catch you up, Esco, and anybody at home that just came in, we're talking about movies that we felt were criminal, that did injustice in this world. And my next one is going to be the latest Fantastic Four movie.
Oh yeah,
because I actually just finally watched it like 4 or 5 months ago, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like you motherfuckers made this movie." Like, listen, the original Fantastic Four movies were not good. Okay, they were not good.
They were enjoyable, though.
They were ambitious. They were trying. It was at a time when superhero movies were not what they are now. I understand the play, the spot, the thing that they did in history. I get that. But this new one was genuinely bad. It was in a world where at that time we've had superhero movies. Iron Man came out already, Devin. Thor came out already. Captain America, Avengers had come out at this point.
Did Avengers come out at that point?
I think so. I think so. Let's find out. Fantastic.
I got it.
You got it here. I'll look up Avengers release date here. Release date just to be sure. Okay, May 4th, 2012. So when does Fantastic Four come out?
August 7th, 2015.
Avengers.
And there was even more. There was even more.
The Avengers had been released. One of the best superhero movies of all time had come out, and they still gave us this piece of fucking shit. Are you kidding? That was Victor Von Doom. That's who you gave us for Von Doom.
Oh my God.
I cannot believe it. I cannot fucking believe it, dude. And it had so much potential. Had so much potential. I saw the cast.
Had
I was
a great
like,
cast.
They could
it
do
just
it.
was not executed correctly, and the writing was fucking shit. And the costume design was shit.
I could not fucking believe it, dude. I could not believe it.
And the whole movie was like gray and blue.
I know the blue hue, the entire movie.
Yeah.
I was like, why is everything so fucking
It's
like,
like,
trying to
it's like
match their
fucking Zack
outfits?
Snyder was doing this.
Go fuck yourself.
I looked it up, and I just for the audience, just to validate this opinion, its Metacritic is 27%, and it has a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
9%. What's the audience score? What's the audience score?
Let's find out. I gotta click on it. That was 9% tomato meter, 18% audience score.
Jesus Christ. Esco says, mine's as beautiful creatures. I read them all in high school. Oh my God. Yes, that one is so bad for why. Yeah. Fantastic Four. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. Terrible. Oh my God. Devin, what is your next criminal movie?
Ooh. Malignant.
Really? That's gonna make it to the top of your list of historically criminal movies? Was Malignant?
Okay.
Because listen, I can see the argument. I can. But there's been worse movies, my guy.
Yeah. There has been worse. My brain is like worse movies just flowing through my mind. I am going to go with, oh God, it's so bad I even forgot the name. Of like, it has a sub name to the name. You know what I mean? Where is it?
Sub name to the name.
It's not Halo Forward Unto Dawn. It's the other one. God, what was the other one called? You know what I'm talking about, right? When they were when it was just the Marines stranded on the rock dealing with the flood.
Oh,
Nightfall.
I didn't watch it.
Nightfall.
Oh, okay.
Halo Nightfall. Talk about a disservice to anybody who is a fan of the series. All right.
Ugh.
Yeah, it is just the most like it's all in one area. It's all on a fucking rock, right? There's like no covenant in it. There's like no Spartans. There's nothing like that. It's literally just the popcorn flood and a couple of the like zombie flood because a couple characters get their bodies overtaken.
Sure.
And it's not as scary as like the flood actually are, if that makes any sense.
They like don't portray like how horrifying meeting the flood for the first time was.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing because that I remember playing that when I think when Halo came out when I was 14.
2000? Like 2000?
Was it really?
Yeah, it's 2000. It was Xbox, original Xbox.
I don't think it was quite 2000. Do you want to fact check that for me real quick? Here, actually.
Yeah. I want to say it was 2002.
Was I 12 years old when the Xbox came out? I feel like I was more like, I mean, maybe.
2001, November 15th, 2001.
I was 11 years. Oh my god.
I was 9. I was 9 years old when that game came out.
Esco, I'm eating buffalo chicken pizza, but listening, hands messy, no typing.
Yeah.
I love you, Esco.
But
anyways,
it's just that movie was so bad it's forgettable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's fucking disappointing, dude. That's fucking disappointing.
Especially as a disservice to the Halo community, you know, because of how successful that that franchise has been. And I just want to point out that movie came out in 2015, the same year as Fantastic Four. What the fuck were filmmakers doing that year?
That's true. That's true. I mean, like, listen, a lot of things were wrong back then. Okay, a lot of things were going wrong back then, including my next criminal movie. Devin, have you heard of a little movie that came out that might have made you feel some kind of way? It was a hit movie made by a very, very pivotal, seminal director known as M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I know exactly what movie you're bringing up.
And M. Night, my good sir, had created a movie based on a previous franchise known as The Last Airbender. How dare he? How dare he create this movie the way he created this movie?
Oh my God. Legitimately, I've never even watched that movie. I sat down with my buddy. I was in high school when this came out. We sat down in the theater. My friend worked at the movie theater, so thank God we didn't even have to pay for this, right? You know, we sat down.
Sure.
We get 10, 15 minutes in because we're big fans of Avatar, The Last Airbender. We get about 15 minutes in. We look at each other very audibly in the crowd, and we go, "What the fuck is this?"
Like, Ong was a little white boy.
We got up and left. I haven't seen anything. I think the last thing I remember is the terrible earth bending that they had in the beginning of that movie, and that's when I left.
Yeah, dude. I don't even think there's anything I really need to add. This movie did the world an injustice by existing. Like, period. Like this movie hurt us. It actually did more damage to movie fans, to Airbender fans, than it did any good at all. It was actually they paid money to hurt our feelings, is what they did. That's what they fucking did with that movie. There's nothing else I even need to add to that. The Last Airbender, crime.
I think I have one more to share.
Yes, let's do one more round, then we'll end off here. Real quick before you go, though. Reed says, "Boy, we live in a worldwide pandemic. A lot of stuff has happened last 2 years. 2015 films have no excuse." You're right. You're right, Devin.
I think this is the same time frame too.
What,
Are you
Airbender?
ready?
Airbender was 2010. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, around the same time as Airbender, as I want to say.
Okay. Sure.
A movie that people did ask for, but ended up going so poorly, I had the same effect and walked out within 15 minutes.
No, I think I know what you're gonna say. What are you gonna say? Say it.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yep. Oh God! What the fuck were they doing to that movie? Why did they make that movie, dude?
Here's the thing: people wanted live action Dragon Ball.
I know they did,
and it was done terribly.
Oh God, dude! I could not fucking believe that they did us that dirty.
Another movie. I don't even remember what made me walk out. All as I know is I walked out because I was like, this ain't fucking Dragon Ball. And I left. Got a refund right away.
That's fair. Dude, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how bad that movie was. I really tried, dude. Me and Wolfie that we played Outriders with them a little bit, like when that first came out. Him and I went to go see it, and we tried, dude. We really, really did. We fucking tried. Esco, I didn't even bother watching that movie. Saved myself a headache. Yep. Read the live action Western made movies out of cartoons or anime with a focus on Asian culture are always bad. It's wild because it's like it had potential to be something when we found out that it was going to exist, because we were like, oh dude, holy fuck, they're actually going to do it. And then I saw the casting and I was like, why is he Goku? and suddenly it was like cultural appropriation just woke up inside of me. I was like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't feel right. Like, that's weird. Why would they do that to us? And they fucking, They fucking gave us that, my dude. They gave us that. Remember Chi-Chi in that movie? Yeah.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't remember shit from that movie. I have blocked everything out of existence of my mind that is related to that movie, besides that stupid fucking haircut they tried to pull off, says Goku.
I know,
Yamcha looking motherfucker.
Just the fucking terrible wigs they had in that movie. And like, like, why did they do that to us, Devin? Why did they do that to us? I don't understand, dude. Anyways, the last movie I want to bring up here is actually going to be a movie that I think could potentially garner me a little bit of hate, because I feel like there's some people that loved this movie, that loved the way that they handled it. I personally did not. I personally felt it could have been a million times better, Devin. And this movie is actually a video game adaptation movie, like one that you picked, okay? Why did they do that in Silent Hill? Why did they do that in Silent Hill? Did they not learn from Resident Evil? Did they not learn in Resident Evil? Why was Sean Bean in Silent Hill? Why, like,
So he could die.
so
again.
he could die. They were like, listen, you die in everything. And he was like, I do. Yeah, so, like, well, hey, no exception here, right? And he's like, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, one and done. Let's go. Sean Bean just likes to have one night stands with movies and franchises.
It's true. He does. The thing that disappoints me most about this movie is that the story of Silent Hill has so much potential to make for an actually really good fucking horror movie. Just like the concept of an entire town being burnt to the ground, and then the spirits of that town are still dwelling in that town to the point where you can be transported to another haunted fucking universe while traversing this fucking town of Silent Hill. Like, it's a horrifying fucking story. And this movie, they had maybe 2 scary parts. Maybe.
I will say the second one was actually better. This is like one of the rare cases where the sequel was better than the original.
Well, and I think the sequel actually got a worse score than the first.
I thought it was better because it definitely had the scarier parts. Like, it had the nurses who like went off of like movement and sound. It had Pyramid Head multiple times. It had like a lot of other creatures and zombies and stuff like that.
The second one was actually more based on the games than the first one was, because the second one actually has a character from the games.
Yep.
Whereas in the first one, they took the story of the second game and tried turning it into a fucking movie. Like, Reed, Silent Hill wasn't terrible and evil, but it wasn't good. Yes, exactly. Esco, I didn't know who Sean Bean was, and I only know him from Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Listen, that's the only thing any of us know Sean Bean from, because he just keeps dying in movies. Surreal, what's up, bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes? We love you, Surreal. We love you. And welcome. We actually are just finishing off here in a second, but yeah. Our general consensus here, movies, please fucking get it together.
And there are a lot more that we could bring up.
Oh, there's a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The Hobbit.
Okay, hold on. The
three armies. The three armies specifically.
Hold on. The Hobbit was bad. I don't know if it was criminal bad. Some would disagree. I totally understand
the Lord
that.
of the Rings trilogy, it is criminal
that's
to
like,
the Lord of the Rings.
That's
that's what I want to say though.
It's still
Peter Jackson. It's still Peter Jackson. Still same universe. Not good.
Sure. And compared to Lord of the Rings, I mean, that's a hard fucking thing to get through. Well,
Lord of the Rings. Excellent.
I mean, the fucking Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, I would argue, are criminal.
Spider-Man 2, fucking fantastic.
Spider-Man 3, ass. Big fat ass, dude.
Yep.
Ernell, you look so cute in that fedora. It's not a fedora. First off,
I'm gonna say that every time he wears that hat.
First
now.
off, not a fedora. I do have a fedora if you want to see me wear it. It's not a fedora.
Nice fedora, Ernell.
Reed, shut the fuck up. Actually, fucking end of the stream. With which one, Reed? With which run? Sam Raimi did his best. No, listen, I was being a little bit cheeky about that. I was being
two
facetious.
are great. One and two are great.
What I will say that those movies those movies crawled so that Marvel could run now. You know what I mean? Like, if it was not for those movies, we would not have.
It's true.
What we have.
It's
now.
true.
If it wasn't for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Blade,
those, and also the first X-Men movie too.
Yes. Also another one.
Not
Actually,
Fantastic Four though.
Days of Future Past might be part of this conversation too.
Oh, I agree with that. And X-Men First Class.
More so X-Men First Class, actually. You're right. You're onto something.
Yeah.
Reed, Spider-Man 3 was bad until you watch the whole trilogy as a comedy. See, when you're looking at it as like, did this age well? Obviously, yeah, it's gonna be more fun because you're like, okay, we're gonna go into Spider-Man 3. It's gonna be a fucking train wreck. Let's laugh at it, right? Like that's a whole different fucking story.
Don't give Ernell any ammunition to say that Army of the Dead is good, Reed. Please.
Joke's on you, it was. Joke's on
No,
you,
it's
it was.
not.
Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Spider-Man 3, surreal. Spider-Man 3. Anyways, guys, let's take a look over at Fact Check here since we're winding things down. We have one that Devin put in for us earlier. The Wii had 101.63 million lifetime sales, and the Wii U had 13.56 million lifetime sales. Yes, of course. Of course, my point being was that the PlayStation 5 still impressive that they beat the lifetime sales of any console, realistically. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, but like we've seen that a lot. Like of course the Sega Genesis, Atari, SNES, regular Nintendo, all that stuff's getting beat out modern days because it's like, especially over the last couple of years, the amount of gamers have tripled.
Yeah, no, of course. But I mean, like the Wii U isn't so far away compared to the Atari. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like,
I just it to me, I thought it was funny because it is notably known as like one of quote unquote Nintendo's fuck ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I didn't even know the Wii U was out, like coming out till it was already out, and I was like, is this just an iteration on the Wii? No, it was supposed to be a whole nother fucking console. You know?
yeah. Which is funny too, because what I'm noticing is that like it was a fuck up at the time, but I'm actually finding a lot of people now like actually enjoyed it, which is kind of fucking weird, right? Like,
yeah. Well, there's a reason why they're re-releasing all the games on Switch. Like you saw that with Mario Kart 8, you saw that with freaking Super Smash Brothers and like a lot of other stuff.
Fucking surreal, Esco. Is that not a fedora? What is it? It's called a golf cap. It's a golf cap. I call it the taxi cab driver hat. That's what I call it. Okay?
It's a fedora.
It's not a fedora. A fedora is the one that has the rim all the way around. And you say,
yeah, sure. I don't care. It's a fedora.
Oh, get the fuck out. Our schedule for this week on Tuesday. I'm going to wear a fucking golf cap for you guys again just to piss y'all off. On Tuesday.
Fedora.
On Tuesday, we have another Good Kraken podcast. We're going to be doing our Dying Light 2 impressions.
While wearing a fedora.
While wearing a fedora. There you go. Alongside the nerdy news that you guys know and love. On Wednesday, hold on, let's go. It's a Peaky Blinders cap. I Googled it. Sorry, this pizza is busting. Oh, man, I love you guys.
Did you see a video on Facebook that gave you all your information too, so now you swear and live by it and create a whole cult off of it now?
Reed. Thank you, Reed. First of all, fedora is how it's spelled. And second, is not a fedora. See, there you go.
Reed, don't pander to him. Don't give him ammunition.
No, fuck off. All right, thank you, Reed. Thank you. On Wednesday, we have another Splash Damage. We are, in fact, playing Dying Light 2 again because this game's fucking fun. You guys are going to come in and enjoy it with us. We've been having a damn good time. It's been a lot of fucking fun. Thursday, we have another Shipwreck Show live recording. If you want to be a part of that, Devin, hit him with the link in chat. Join us at patreon.com/goodkrakenshow if you want to be a part of watching that later on. On later today. No, Reed, next Thursday. Next Friday, we have our very first official 7th Brevin stream. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Crossfire X. It is going to be a new first-party title to the Xbox ecosystem on Game Pass. The campaign is actually made by Remedy, the same developers behind Alan Wake and Control. So I'm pretty excited to see where this one goes.
There you go. There you go. Reed, wait for Dying Light. No, yeah, Dying Light's going to be on Wednesday. We're going to be playing more Dying Light on Wednesday. Surreal, The Last of Us, we're actually going to have Devin get to the last couple of hours. So like how we did with Horizon, we're going to have Devin get to the last couple of hours of The Last of Us, and then we'll have Devin stream the finale of The Last of Us for you guys.
And I'll be honest with you, Surreal, that probably won't be till about March-ish because we have a very busy schedule this month.
Very busy schedule, and it is surprisingly a bit of a lengthy first player game. It's about 40 hours, and Devin's got other stuff to play too. So, Reed, so how was the crying after Last of Us 2? Dude, all of us cry for Last of Us 2. I'm telling you that.
I haven't finished it yet. So
yeah, we'll get there. Next Saturday, we will be doing another Good Kraken podcast, and our headlining segment is our Book of Boba Fett review. The final episode is next week.
So hyped
I'm
on
so
this
fucking
right now.
excited for it,
It's like,
I'm so excited for it.
honestly, this show has like these last couple episodes have entered like top tier Star Wars content ever.
Historically speaking, ever. So fucking good. I'm so excited for it, dude. Guys, please let us know at home what movies you think were committing crimes historically. We want to hear from you guys some of your least favorite fucking movies ever, period. Ever. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on Discord. We want to hear from you guys. Until then, my friends, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you enjoyed the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/Good Kraken Show, where you can submit questions and topics to the show. You can get exclusive post-show content, and you have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services across the digital sea. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. We're not going to do a post show because goddamn, we are making a habit of running fucking late. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other.